Hi, my name's TG Trooper, and with me today is my very good friend, super talented author, Sam Scott. And we're here to talk about a new novel, which is Trip of a Lifetime. So, Sam, what is Trip of a Lifetime about?
Trip of a Lifetime is basically a love story. It's about my main character, Scarlett, and she's 19 years old. And before she heads out to work, she's finished her education. She decides that she wants to go on a holiday of a lifetime. So it's her first holiday away without her parents. So they insist that her sister goes with her, and they travel to California.
Right.
The plan is that they will only stay in California for 4 weeks. But things happen, as things always happen, and Scarlett meets an up-and-coming rock star called Trip,
Right.
and basically falls head over heels in love.
That happens, doesn't it?
It happens. Look at Shirley Valentine all those years ago. It is set in the 80s, so it is a little bit nostalgic. There are, snippets in there that if people around our age will remember and enjoy. But she ends up staying in California for 11 years.
Oh, wow.
Trip is very, very successful. He and his band become the biggest band on the planet. They have, they live like kings and queens. They have more riches than anyone could ever desire. But there's always a bit of a dark side in my stories, which and Trip is basically, he's a total narcissist, and he ends up treating Scarlett appallingly. He puts her through hell in the 11 years that they're together. And finally, through it all, friends telling her, even the news, media, everyone telling her that he's just a womanizer. Her love for him accepts everything. Everyone else is wrong. She doesn't believe it. The love runs too deep. He can do no wrong in her eyes. She's blinded to all of that gossip, and finally she finds him in bed with another woman, and that's it. Suddenly she is the one that's been stupid. So she ups and leaves and heads back to England for the first time in 11 years to put her life back on track again without Trip in it.
Okay. So, where did the idea for that story come from?
Not from me. Nothing to do with me. No, it was to do with me. I'm a big dreamer. I think I've told you this before. I have very, very vivid, very detailed dreams. I have done all my life. This isn't a new thing. This was a dream that I had many, many years ago. It was a full-blown Technicolor movie. It just didn't start, middle, end. Everything was there. And when I got up in the morning, I was still engrossed in this story. I couldn't believe that I'd had this dream, and it had been so colourful and so detailed. And just, there we go. That's going to make a great book, and it stayed with me.
So this is a new age group for you. You've got sort of children's, young adult stories.
I do, yeah.
Why an adult book now?
It's not new to me, as I say. The dream was many, many years ago. In fact, it was 20 years ago. And Trip was the first thing that I ever wrote. I write because of this story.
Okay.
It was the one that I had and used to try my hand at writing in the very first instance. And sadly, my Scarlett in the book, her dad is based around my dad. Lots of things in the book. You might even call the book semi-autobiographical, because there are lots of things in here that were part of my teenage years. And Scarlett's dad was based around my dear old dad. He unfortunately got very, very unwell before he passed away, and there were 8 years where I couldn't bring myself to write after he died. It just totally blocked me. I then started writing for children because it didn't affect me, and I suddenly just thought last year it was time to dig this out the drawer and come back to it. So it's been rewritten, and time to get it published and dedicate it to my dear old dad.
Oh, that's sweet. Sweet. So you've written numerous novels for children, young adults, but Trip of a Lifetime is for an adult readership, and you've included some profanity. I know that you're not one to use that sort of language. Why was it necessary for the characters to use it?
Yeah, it was really tough. And when I read the book back when I was proofreading, I actually was really, really shocked at the language that I'd put in there. As I said earlier, Trip is a total narcissist. He becomes an alcoholic, and he is incredibly, as he gets older and deeper into their relationship, more verbally abusive to Scarlett. And when anyone is drunk and verbally abusive, you know, the bad language follows. It's very natural. We all do it when we're angry, and Trip gets angry quite frequently. But yes, it's just very natural. It wasn't natural for me as a children's writer. And as I say, I was quite shocked when I read it back. There's not a lot, but there's a few in there. But then I did have to remind myself that one of the words in particular, and Trip is American, this is set in California, one of the words in particular is extremely commonplace in America, where it is frowned upon still slightly here. It's used in everyday language in America and isn't frowned upon at all. So that made me, in my mind, feel a little bit more comfortable with it. But yeah, I wasn't comfortable at all.
So, as that sort of answers the next question, because you have to think it before you write it, how did that make you feel as you wrote it?
I did have to play around with it a lot more. I knew I needed to say it, but I didn't want to write it. And I had to convince myself that it was okay to write it. It didn't come easily at all. I wasn't shocked. You know, we all use these words. And you see them on TV all the time. I'm a big movie buff. We're always watching films. So the words are quite regularly used now. But if you've never done it, it's like anything. If you've never done it before, you know, if another adult book comes along and I do it again, it will perhaps feel a little bit easier next time.
I think you should sometimes feel a little bit uncomfortable when you're writing, because you're writing a different personality.
Yes, very much. And I'd never written, as I say, either of them, but I'd certainly never written anything like about Trip before. You know, those awful traits that people can have, you know, when they are under the influence of a drink or a drug or anything. Yeah, difficult to write.
Yeah. From our last interview, which was Sophie Spirit. Was it Sophie Spirit?
Yeah, I think it was. Do you know, I think it was about a year ago, because I looked up. I think it was last August.
So, horror is your favourite genre. So why is this a love story?
Yeah, you're quite right. You've remembered. Horror is my favourite genre. It has been all my life. Anything macabre, anything dark, murder mystery, the darker the better. But I don't want to stay fixed on one genre. I like, excuse me, I like to mix it up a bit. You'll know with my children's books, just because Sophie Spirit is a trilogy of ghost stories, I do give my other readers a mixture of genres and themes. I like to mix it up, give them stories across the board. And I do love a romance. What girl doesn't love a romance? My husband said he's not going to read it because he doesn't do romance, and I gather men don't always. But yeah, it's a love story, and I thought back to other things, you know, like Shirley Valentine and things like that. Ladies do like a romance, so it's a bit of it, another form of escapism. But you know, going back to, I wouldn't be Sam Scott if I didn't put dark themes in it. So yeah, you've got the romance, but you've also got the few dark themes in there as well.
So will you be going back to children's?
I will, yes, yeah. I'm not going to stay with adult. I would get so bored. I love mixing it up. I've got 4 children's books already written that I'm hoping to work on getting edited and out to the world in the next couple of years. It just takes so long. I have just started another adult book. I have been very slack. I haven't done very much of it, but it's based around the Bronte sisters. And if you remember from our last interview, I think you asked me if I could only own one book, what would it be? And as I told you, it would be Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte. They have always been a big inspiration to me, the sisters, since I started writing. I'll tell you a funny story. I was at a venue last week and I was sitting in the library and they had some wonderful books in there on the shelves, and I said to the lady that I was with, "Oh, I'd love to find an old copy of Wuthering Heights." And sure enough, I was scanning through the bookshelves and there was one there, and I was green with envy. I didn't bring it home with me, by the way. It's still there. But yeah, I was green with envy. I would love an old original first edition or something of that, but very hard to get your hands on. So yeah, there's an adult one in the pipeline as well.
So that is the next question. So what's coming next? Will it be the adult one or will it be another children's story?
It's going to be a YA, actually.
Oh, okay.
It's a teen murder mystery. It's
Back to the death.
yeah. Yeah. I can't stay away from it for very, very long. It's finished. It's been proofread by 3 different people thoroughly, plus me. I have an interview, an online interview with a literary agent.
Nice.
2 weeks from now. I just submitted it to her last night. So
Come back to you already.
The interview is booked for the 14th of August. So, yeah, I am literally with this one about to enter the Querian trenches again. So, yeah, really, really fingers crossed for this one. So, yeah, teen murder mystery coming your way.
Good. So where can people buy your books? And do you have website, social media presence at all?
Yeah, you can see me on Facebook. I do a lot of Facebook. Instagram, I'm not terribly much on there, but I do try to. The book's available on Amazon. You can get copies as well in local bookshops around Essex. They can always contact me if they've run out or they haven't got any. The bookshops that I work closely with, they'll always email me and say, "Sam, we need some copies." But primarily on Amazon. So yeah, if you're going away on holiday in the summer and you want something to lay on the beach or sit by the pool,
that's the one.
Give it a go.
So, Sam Scott, thank you very much.
Thank you, Peter. Lovely as ever. Thanks for having me.
Thank you.